Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's meeting on life challenges, online meeting. And we have with us today Aashti Tousignant. Hi, Aashti.
Hello. Hi,
And
everybody.
thank you for joining us.
Thank
Um,
you.
Aashti contacted me to see whether I felt it was a good idea for her to participate in this series. And actually, her life challenge was really quite a dramatic one. She she got arrested in the middle of a retreat that she was leading in France. And the context of this, which I'm just going to put for people so that you know, is that there's a group in France that looks for sects and cults and collects evidence and basically suggests that charges be laid against certain people. And Aashti was the object of such charges. So basically, the charges against her were that she was a cult leader. And France being the secular place it is, there's a lot of suspicion of cults, and because probably of her past association with Osho, the charges were laid against her. Now, nobody can be prosecuted as a cult leader, but the charges were something like using her power as a therapist and teacher to use or abuse vulnerable people. So something like that. You can correct that
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
want, Aashti. And so she was put in prison. All her belongings were confiscated. She lost all her money, and she spent. Now I can't remember how much time, a month or 2 months in prison.
2 months.
2 months before she was released.
And 3 years in the big prisons of France.
Yes, yes, because it took 3 years before the charges were dismissed.
Mm.
And during that time, you could not leave France and you could not work to earn money. And I don't want to spend too much time on those details. Really, what I'm interested in that you share with people is the situation that you found yourself in prison. Not having any rights, not having any of your usual context, your belongings, just being face to face with the system, with the justice system that you probably didn't even know in France. Who knows the justice system from the inside if you're a regular citizen and you're not a citizen of France, you're a citizen of Canada. So there's this context that's just totally stripped you of everything that your life was all about. And maybe you could just share with us what that was like for you.
Okay. Yeah, there is maybe some adjustment about this. If some people wants to look, there is this para-government organism, which is called Mivilude, which is in charge of looking for a sect, which is beautiful, actually. They can do their job and looking. But right now, we have to know that what is becoming a sect now, it's all the meditation practitioner, the mindfulness, and it's all the personal growth these are the target of these people, because it's no more Witness of Jehovah or all the big churches or all this. These are small therapists or small people who likes to bring something new. And it's in that context that they are, I mean, I was not considered as a cult leader, as a cult guru, because, I was one, or I was influenced by one, or I was underneath one. I mean, all the possibility were there because there was nothing. So they were just trying to find something. And so I was quite at peace in my life. I had, I was living a very simple, ordinary life. I would say I had the joy to share my work with people and to really meet with beautiful people. And I find myself also in my own inner life, I would say, or quite at peace. Quite at peace. And I was reflecting on that the last years, and I was saying, wow, it seems like that there is no more identification, or no more, like, not so much that can remove myself from that peace, and I said, I was just observing that, realizing that, is it this peace that we are talking about, that the grand masters are talking about, or is it did I reach somewhere, or that I can say it's quiet, which was I was looking for in a way, this quiet space that.
Yes.
And I mean, a few months later, or I don't know how long after, I just find myself, as you were saying, in the middle of a meditation retreat with few people, like full of gendarmes, police people who just came like this, as if they were really saving these people from a collective something. It's quite, so there were many coming and just arrested me and saying that we probably know why we are here. And I said, no, and without explaining, without saying nothing, they just separate everybody. And so they took me from that place and put me in jail. So there is 2 days of interrogation, of asking a question that they can eventually use against you afterwards. So I had the chance of the lawyer who told me, you don't say nothing, you will talk to the judge. So I didn't really share something. I just say, I will tell you everything, but I want to talk to her. I want to know why I'm here, actually. what's happening, So I was totally in a shock, actually. And they just decided out of, because they were, I mean, it was a big manufacturer story, that and lying to me, saying that some people have been saying that they have been manipulated by me, so they have the right to put me in jail. They have proof, which was not true, but they said that, and so they just put me in jail with another person, and it took 2 months so that the judge, which was doing her job, could talk to me and see, and afterwards decide to, of course, release us. And so we had to find a place to stay, and there was many rules to respect, but coming back to jail, it was, of course, I mean, it's difficult to find words. I mean, as long as you don't live that, and that's it. In that circumstance, in a sense, that coming out of a, loving meditation, very caring, very welcoming, everybody very, very quiet and in silence, very and open. Having this, it was like a storm, and it was like, wow. And putting me in contact with, as you were saying, a world that I didn't know at all. It was existing. So I mean, they just, sorry, I will go how it comes because there was so much.
Yes,
Then
go ahead.
you guide me.
Go ahead.
I mean, the first welcome in the jail when you do nothing, it's just like somebody screaming at you saying, you know, fuck off. I mean, and I say, but I didn't do nothing. And they just put you there, and it was 1 o'clock at night when they brought me in, which is a kind of strange hour to also to bring somebody. And they just closed the door, and they watch you over for a couple of days to see how you behave. And I was also doing the same. I was just observing what is the game happening here, you know. So without going into so much detail, I was, of course, very emotionally disturbed. I was totally lost. I didn't understand anything. And I was just mainly watching and coming back to my breathing and coming back here because like the story, I mean, I was sure they wanted to kill me. I was sure they wanted to destroy me. I didn't know what they would put in the food or in the water. I mean, I had everything went through, you know, everything went through. And because as they are not speaking, as they are not talking to you, and there is a lot of arrogance, I would say, they are not the guardian of the jail. In their training, they are trained not to be nice, actually.
Yes.
They are trained just to cut you off and close this big metal door, which are making a noise that is, you know, just go in your bones. And again and again and again. And so I was happy that I had some meditation behind me to have some distance about what is everything, what's happening. And I was in a space where I just allow whatever was there. You know, whatever was there. So everything went through, you know, and I was just allowing it. So it was the tears, the crying, the despair, the mind fucking, the quietness, the exhaustion, because you know there is a phase where you are cut from everybody, and as I'm not French, it took a while that my family could know, and of course they also freaked out, and everybody doesn't understand anything, and so slowly I learned the way how you live in a jail, because the women who are there are talking. At least they are telling me, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that. The guardian don't say anything. There is not a little mode d'emploi, you know, like mode d'emploi. I don't know how to say it in English. The little book that tells you how to do it.
Yeah, there's no guidelines.
Guidelines.
How to do things.
Yeah. How to and
yeah.
So so I went through different stage, I would say, through different and not steady like this. And this was also connected with I could see the judge and whatever I was saying actually, and also psychiatrist, you know, and I could see the whole system. How the whole system is just like a big movie. A big surreal movie I was in, because everything was lying. Whatever I was doing, whatever I was saying, it was against me. It was becoming, look, you don't remember a phone number? Means you are disconnected. You don't know this, or you have been putting your hands on the table, means you are manipulating. I mean, things like you don't speak, so means you want to hide something, or you speak a lot, means you try to. So anything, everything. So I became like some fear, because the time it took some time also where the lawyer has to learn, because they make it so big that it was like I was a big thing, and there was a lot of money, and I mean, I said, what's So for me, inside, it just came where the me, the person was in a corner. Mm-hmm. Me as a person, I was totally like somebody had to surrender. Mm-hmm. Because this surreal movie, they had the power. And at the same time, I hope you will understand me well, that it's like before I could see that everything is a story, this was seen before, that, mm-hmm. Our so-called life. But this helped me to see that there was a part of me which was still keeping an identification to that. At least there is a part of me which is okay, which is not in the movie, but the me was saying that, and this helped me by having this, there is some picture that I still remember, having this judge and having the procureur and having the person writing for the prosecutor and all these people speaking lying in front of me, lying in front of everybody, thinking that it's the truth. Mm-hmm. And me, a part of that movie, and at the same time watching it all. But at the beginning, it took a while for, this dance of seeing myself in it and at the same time not in it. Mm-hmm. By seeing it so surreal and so huge, like, that you almost laugh about what's happening, that something dropped inside me. That's the best way I can. It could not sustain that you also, this person here, is also fake. Mm-hmm. Is also a story. Mm. So whatever it is, it's no more a question who is right, who is wrong. If somebody is guilty, it's just our life is happening right now. Mm-hmm. Our life is unfolding right now. And
can I interrupt for a second, Aashti?
Yeah.
I'm just very struck by how there's this, there's this contrast between us knowing fundamentally our innocence, right, as ourselves. I mean, it's just who we truly are. There's a total innocence. And then there is the justice system that's basically built on finding people guilty. And even though they're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, like you just said, I mean, everything gets turned around you and against you. And so it's really about proving that people are actually guilty.
Yeah.
So there's this kind of, it's almost like there's this show off between innocence and guilt. Mm-hmm. And, the person is always guilty somehow, because, the person is always judged. Mm-hmm. One way or another, because, you haven't, there's, as long as we are at that level of the person, there's an investment in being this way and not that way, or, doing things right and not wrong. And,
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's like that was mirrored back to you,
Exactly.
By the justice system. And so in the face of that, all that judgment, all those, fundamental lies, because the person is a lie. Really.
Exactly.
It's like at some point, it sounds to me like you just...
Finally.
You just gave up.
Yeah, I just gave up. It gave up. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's beautiful what you bring, because that's what I wanted to share, that in fact they were just reflecting again what's happening in the mind of everybody. wanting to change, wanting to become more spiritual, you know, because here that's what we are talking. It's not even becoming a better person, but also becoming more spiritual, more free, more whatever, more, I don't know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this, I think we are still very hooked in that one, thinking that freedom means that this person is behaving in a certain way. And it's not true. If it's the only thing that this sharing can bring, this is where we are missing the point. Trying this person here to become somebody, which we can call awakening, or, you know, free, or, and it's like, because it was the first time for me that I could see this so different. And I could see that all this was me. All this is me.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning, of course, I was saying, hey, the bad judge and the bad, and you know, the judge was just trying to have the proof of, actually they don't try to find guilt, maybe also, but we just try to justify what we call our truth, what we call the truth, which is totally just a subjective vision of reality. Yeah. And this is what needs to drop. And this what happened through, for me, that situation where this me had no power. And helped me to see that I was still, and this is the beauty, and this is where there was a lot of gratitude, in a way, to help me to see in this little corner that was still hiding, the me was still hiding in a very, very fine place. And this helped me to see being hooked in the corner, totally like surrender. That's the, you know, in French we have a word that came to me, it was the word abdiquer. And I don't know how you will translate it. I think it's surrender, you know, that something just collapse, you know, just die, actually, just die. So to realize through this process of death, which was not a process, actually, it just happened. But the integration of this took this 2.5 years, I would say. You know, they were not there for nothing. At the beginning, I was thinking, my God, it's so long. How long you will like to keep it going? And for me, it took also, because a lot happened in the integration of this new, where I was sitting inside, to confirm that, you know. And then now I can address in a different way the movie I was in. And of course, it was not easy, because I didn't know my role in this. It's the first time I didn't know how somebody being arrested should behave. Should I fight? Should I not fight? Should I reply? I didn't know. I was just not concerned. And life, of course, did what it has to do. You know, it went. And as our lawyer quite soon told us, that this will just finish by nothing, because there was nothing in it, you know. So, and that's how it ended up, like the charge being released. But again, even at the court, which happened like last year, and it was beautiful for me to be able to be there, and feeling these people, just me, just me in the me. Well, you know what I mean? Me. It's not even me. It's just life. I mean, so through these eyes, it was me, and you know, and just they did what they had to do. They were speaking this, and what came out, what is coming, even growing more and more, is that there is only love for everything, you know, for just because we are not separate, you know. And I mean, this I knew it before. and I don't know if it's finished. I don't know if I will connect another layer of that truth. But I feel like I really understood more into all my being, you know, what it, that, you know, the capacity of just watching the one who is not involved in this drama called life, and at the same time being totally in it and not being afraid anymore of being totally in it, and embracing whatever is happening, because it's not happening to you. You are there to feel it. I you know, it's totally another point of view. It's not that I'm not there, I'm not this, I'm not this body, I'm not that. Anyway, I'm not that, I'm not my story. You know, it's not just saying I'm not that, but it's also saying I'm all that.
Yes.
Come in my arms, I'm all that. You know, and this compassion for this little one here who was felt totally lost, you know, or felt like totally like not knowing how to play the game of life, you know, and
not that one in any case.
Yeah, and also this
because that one was pretty extreme.
And also this innocence that you were talking of, this tendency, you know, this tendency of the mind, who is always looking for what is wrong or what is not so good or what can be improved. And this can continue to play, you know, because there is something here that doesn't take it seriously anymore. But if it's happening, if it's longing inside people, is calling to say, I would like to take care of this. I would like to take care of this tendency, we say, tendency that I have in my life, then go for it. But thinking that I have to take care of this tendency, of this behavior to be free, then we are not, then there is a confusion.
Yes.
You know?
Beautiful.
And it's like, it's still a lot people around me, so I don't know for people who are listening today, that there is a lot of expectation of how somebody realize should behave or should feel and should not feel. And me today, I don't know, but my experience here is to see that everything is welcome. Everything is welcome. Why to cut? I mean, until this body will be there, I will have this duality of some days feeling good or something feeling less comfortable in a situation, you know? And it's okay. It's okay. And so there was a lot of, through that, I would say violence, because I would say that I was in a very arrogant and harassment and manipulation situation. I could hopefully, through, I would say, meditation or my capacity to just come back here, to go through in a more quiet way. I don't know what I wanted to say. I lost it. But even if it's not quiet in a way, you know, even in the time when I was not quiet, I was not asking me to be in a certain way. And that's what, you know, of course, it needs some capacity of having the distance through the situation. But one day or another, we need to also embrace this humanity that we are. And this path is not about going away. At least for me now, it's to have this dance, you know, this dance of life. I remember writing, and I was writing sometime to friends to give some news, because I was not allowed to speak for these 2 years, you know, so it brought also a situation where I was feeling much not alone, because there was few people around me who really took care of me, and there was a lot of caring, you know, materially and psychically, and so life was very graceful in a way, you know, and And it's always graceful. That's, you know, even when I'm leaving now, even in the jail, it was graceful. You know, it's because it was not on the outside graceful. It was not sweet. It was not tender.
Mm-hmm.
But it was what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also I could see through that how much it's strong. I mean, even through the fact of speaking to you today, I have to say that I had some question
Mm-hmm.
of so strong the idea of when somebody went in jail means she did something wrong, you know? And I was concerned a way that I don't want to attract more problem in my life. And if it's sharing about this experience in the jail or being arrested will bring more kind of fear around, it's not what I'm looking for, and I hope it's not, you know. That because we have a strong idea, jail means already the movie is going out.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped me to see, because being inside, I could see all these beautiful women who are there.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful women. Well, nothing. They just did a little, maybe lost on the way and, you know, searching themselves and find themselves there for whatever they had to go through, you know. A lot of psychiatric problem also find themselves in jail, and they are not
Mm-hmm.
at the right place, you know. Jail
Mm-hmm.
is a kind of so it helped me to see how we are still treating each other,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how harsh we are on each other, how afraid we are of the other,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So this me is still very much into this protecting as much as the other can affect. And I think it's time. I don't know. There is a lot of calling. There is a lot of thirst that to be also free of that, so that we can allow what is, you know. What is beautiful actually.
Yeah,
Once,
Ashti, I'm just struck by how somehow prisons are like a metaphor for life, for
mm,
how we separate out what we think is not acceptable,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. And
So
now we are harsh. We are
yeah.
harsh, and we try to it will not work. I can just say it will not work.
Well, it doesn't work in anybody. I mean, the whole personality is based on a falsity,
Fine.
on
Yeah,
the idea that we could protect against what we don't want,
exactly.
that we are separate from what we don't want,
Exactly.
as if, or what we find too much or too scary or too whatever.
Yeah,
And it's just not true. I mean,
yeah,
it's life is all of that, and we are that. How can we exclude anything?
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's, it seems to often it can take very extreme situations before we start to see that,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Of course. I mean, it's like, you know, I remember in my life, because since I'm born, that I feel I'm on a path, on a spiritual path, on a searching. I see it, and nature has been very much my teacher, you know,
Mhm.
since I'm born, and revealing a lot of what is this life. And uh, again, I lost my idea. It's nice.
So let me ask you
Yeah.
a question.
Let me charge myself. I have to put my charger. Just sorry, my
Mhm.
1 second.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Sorry for that.
Before I say anything else, Aashti, I just want to, I'm just really struck by how, how brave you are to share this with us, because, I understand the concern you had with being judged, because being associated with prison, jail, the justice system, you're right. I mean, there is an instant kind of, almost like a groove, a social groove.
Yeah.
Anybody who's in prison's got to have done something,
Yeah. It's not possible. It's not possible.
Yeah. So
and it's sorry. Continue.
Yeah, and I just want to acknowledge that it really does take courage to say, yes, I was in jail, and I had to deal with this. And to trust that people, at least the people who to whom you have an important relationship, whether as a teacher or as a friend or as a member of a family, that they will come to see that you can be totally innocent and still end up in prison.
Yeah.
And
the big thing today.
At the same time, what I also want to say, and I'm really struck by that, is there's, the phrase that keeps coming to me is an emptying out. Somehow,
exactly.
You were stripped of not just your life, you were stripped of there was an emptying out that happened. And there's like where there was a person, there's now an emptiness. And I don't know whether you're okay with my sharing this, but there was some back and forth about your biography that I put on the website, because somehow you knew that the old bio didn't work for you anymore, but it's like the new bio didn't seem to, it wasn't clear what the new bio was. And that to me spoke so much of how, really something was just done away with. Your old life was done away with, and the identification with that also. The identification as a teacher, as a shamanic practitioner, as a meditation retreat leader, all of those things. And it becomes then very difficult to say what your life is all about.
Actually, I don't know nothing, and I can just share that it's okay not to know anything, because when I share with people, sometimes it's become afraid. There is always another project in the back in case, be possibility. And I would say, if you can have the courage, it needs some courage to just meet life, I would say, naked, raw, raw. And this is what I could, I was having such a beautiful and easygoing and nice, that it was just for me confirming, as I was sharing with you before, we wrote it, a voice inside me in jail, just few days after I came, say, are you at peace now? And this was my guideline, just checking out, what is the peace I'm talking about? Are you at peace now? Are you at peace now? And at one point, it was yes. At the beginning, it was no, put me out of here, like I don't belong here. And it's like, are you at peace? Are you at peace? And it was me doing it. I was not like trying, okay, let's find peace. I was not doing anything. It was, but inside was, are you at peace now? And I found myself just finding nothing else than peace, you know? And that's where this now I know. I don't know only from here. I know it. I'm sitting there. I don't know if it's the right expression, but on that peace that nobody can take away. Mm-hmm. At that point, it came that even if they kill me, even if they leave me in jail, because I was scary at the beginning that they will keep me there for how long, It was supposed to be 4 months, and I said, I will die. I will not survive. And actually, I die. I think I die, yes. and this is the most beautiful, that wish or invitation that is there for everybody to come and sit there. And I don't know why I don't know if it's important that everybody goes through, that we had to go through a difficult situation, a big challenge in our life to really do the coming back home here, to really strip away, to let go. I don't know. But I can just see that's, for me, it was a big one. It was one that life just took me. And I'm just, and I would just say, if I can be a witness, like a lot of people are witnessing, to, you will not die. But it feels like dying. But you will not die. Who you are will not die, And for me, it's an experience also of faith, because at the end, they just took, like you say, all my money. So it's also an experience to find yourself from the one day to another without nothing. All my economy of 25 years of my work, of my life. I'm not 20 years old, so it's like, and what came out was like, wow, life loves me so much that I can have nothing. Means I'm really in the arms of love, because life cannot leave me in this world where we need material things to survive, cannot leave me like this. So it means I'm really protected. And I just heard that, and I'm going with that. And so
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aashti. I'm wondering whether it's time to open.
I would like. Yeah, because this is beautiful. If there is, I would really welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just open the floor to questions. Just to repeat to those of you who weren't there at the beginning, who came in later, you're muted at the moment, and in order to kind of ask your question, you either have to wave at me, bring on your video and wave at me, or click on the participants button and on the raise hand option that comes up, and I can then unmute you. So does anybody want to ask a question?
Maybe this is one hand.
Yeah. Krishna?
No, okay.
Okay. You can also actually put a question on the chat. So you don't have to come on yourself if you prefer. But I'd encourage you to come on as yourself.
Or sharing or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so
something. Okay.
Hold on, I'm just going to unmute you. Okay, here you go. Here you are.
Okay. I can just. It's not really a question because I'm really impressed about what you shared and about finding the real who we are. And you said something about, I don't know if it takes a big challenge, to go through that place, because I know from my side, I'm trying to really be in who I'm really are, because I know there's a movie and I'm not asking to go through what you went through. But lately I was wondering if I had a big challenge, if I will really be there, I would say all the time, because we have in and out. You know what I mean? Probably we can see we are kind of when we see a movie. You spoke about movie, and I heard that many times, and often I see myself in a movie, but I keep forget that, and I go in the person, and I was so touched when you said there's a little me in the corner, in the way behind, that when it's still there, we're not getting the peace. So knowing you since years, and I'm really impressed. So thank you so much for your sharing, Aashti. So there's no question, because the person would like to ask question, but I don't know. I don't need to know all the details. It's like the person's sometimes likes to have details, but your sharing is so perfect. So perfect to me anyway. And I repeat, but I'm really touched by your sharing. And thank you, Grace, to allow that. And yeah, to be able to be in contact together. And so thank you so much. If I have a question, a real question, not coming from the person, I will come back.
That's great. Thank you, Trishna, because my feeling was that and you're really confirming this, because I know what you're expressing is that what Aashti is sharing is really touching the right place in you, It's touching a knowing that is there in you. And that's where that's what Aashti is really sharing. So and that's why I wanted to bring this to others, because I really felt that there was something that needed to be shared and that was going to touch people.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
like,
you so much.
Yeah. Mia, can I speak now? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What comes, in fact, it's like, for me, this situation was pointing again and again, or if I have something to invite, we say, just continue to investigate the fight and the war in the mind from the thoughts, And it's the nature of the mind to want to have solution, or to say this is better and this. And once it is seen, then it's not important this, but there is nobody involved into believing in it. And it's, then the relaxation can come, as long as there is one, even the small part of who think that can control the business, that can control something, or that I'm doing something here. The fight will be there, and the fight for becoming something different than what is, And this is, for me, was the revelation again, that this is how it is now. This is what's happening now. And, you know, it's very strong, the idea that even through the people which were my student or friends, they were asking me, did you learn something from it, you know? Probably you could learn something and probably now your life. And me, I say, but no. And I say, am I missing something or, you know? And I could see that a whole shift had happened because it's no more about, I mean, I can see maybe I learned that, you know, it helped me a lot, you know? But it's no more on the psychological level to say, oh, I have to learn about myself, how I was. Maybe I did something not good, and that's why I've been punished. And it's so strong in this in this view that when I was in front of people asking me, I said, you know, for me, nothing happened to me. It's not personal. If this me is growing with, I would say, more loving, more acceptance, more embracing, also in the little me, you know, more having compassion for all how this person is, you know, that she behaved like this, she is having like that, even more love for this one. And I would say, I don't know if this can be a key. And this we can do. Because this stripping away, nobody can do. I cannot do it. I cannot do it, whatever the effort.
Yes.
But we can remember, or we can come back again and again to, can I just allow it this? And then life do its thing. And I could see that it's not easy for people to say that, yeah, but if it's not personal, I mean, but it's not. It's not. It's just life. But I'm life. So I can enjoy it. I can enjoy how life is going through me. But it will not say anything about me. If I'm good, I'm bad, I'm like this, I'm like this. It doesn't say anything. It just happened. And I find it so beautiful. What a miracle we are. To be able to live, to feel this, to feel all the different form of expression of love. You know? I mean, it's amazing. For me, I find it like this, you know? Like, and yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, if it's making sense or...
Yeah, for sure. It makes sense to me anyway. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that question, Trishna.
Yeah. Thank you to you again.
And Jocelyn had a question, shared something on the group chat. She says, even if I know what you are talking about, sometimes it is very difficult not to jump into the story. But it's really inspiring to hear you. Not easy to let go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to actually also come on, Jocelyn? Sorry, I just have to go to group view to see you.
She said yes, yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Okay.
Bring you on.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Jocelyn.
Yes. Thank you, Aashti, to share that, first of all. And I remember when I was talking to you about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and something that I find very difficult is when I feel all the emotions, sadness, desperate, and sometimes when I dive in the emotions, it seems like I will never be able to get out of that. And what I kept from the conversation we had is I don't have to get out of that, but just welcome it and dive in it. And it really helped me a lot, even if it is very difficult to stay in that and not knowing when I will be able, how can I get out of that? But I realize that I don't have to. I just have to be what I experience. And the stress of not being able to get out of that just was reduced. And it really helped me a lot. So I wanted to share that because I think maybe I'm not the only one.
Yeah, because we always want to go out. We want to go out of the jail, but we are the one who is having the key, you know? And it's like, and this has to be seen, and at one point it is seen, and it's beautiful. That's why now there is so many people who share, or I don't know, you know, to help us to remember and to bring back the attention that it's because it can become very subtle. The I wants to say that I'm in, I'm out, but to embrace the emotion, you know, just to, why not? What's what is wrong? It's maybe not comfortable. There is maybe situation more comfortable. Yes, it's true. But it's for whom? For whom?
And it's so easy to jump into the story and, it always happened to me.
It all happened to me, and it's like, and it's also this, and then the identification becomes stronger, and then the fight is stronger, and all this. And it's sometimes like I was sharing, but I want to say it again, maybe, that when I hear some people who have been in satsang and, you know, spiritual teacher, and just use this beautiful sentence at the right moment, instead of just being with what is and embracing, just, anyway, I'm not my emotion. Anyway, it's my story. You know, and for me, this is another subtle way to just say, okay, I don't want to deal with it, but now I have a spiritual language that allow me to say, I deny what's happening in me. Yep. The line is very, very fine. And I really invite, and I think that's how the more emphasis is coming to the awareness is not there to separate ourselves from life.
Yeah.
If it's there, it's a pity. It's there to realize that we are not only our little life. We are not only this little person who is doing whatever. But the awareness is also there to embrace how life is. It can be taste. All this love that we are can be taste, experience, and from there, I mean, there is no comment anymore about, you know, there is no comment about, it just is. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, and sometimes is sad, and it's okay. There's no more judgment on this, you know? Yeah. So the way out is in, huh? Do we have the courage, or are we really, really, you know, I'm repeating, to face that, to be with this. Yeah. And it's beautiful, because once we start to see that, in fact, no, then this one can be embraced also, you know? And again, to have compassion for this difficult one, the one with difficulty, and totally slowly, by reminding there is a kind of jelly, something falls apart, cannot stand in front of this love, in front of this yes, you know, the yes. Yes. Not the just yes, okay, I will have to manage, but the yes, which is no compromise. Yes to everything. And it was very transforming for me, because I'm still, like, people say, you are talking as if the justice was right. You see, you have gratitude again towards the judge. And she was totally stupid and lied. I said, I'm still seeing that justice is a kind of maybe a little bit fucked up, you know, and there is something we need to see in the system. I'm not saying that, wow, they are great. No, it's horrible, I would say, you know. There is a lot to do in jail, and there is a lot to do to improve. And still, this is happening in one dimension, you know. How to be in the tsunami, you know, sometimes I was sharing that. I feel totally in the tsunami. And when you're in the tsunami, it's like this, you know, you don't think about your position and if you are comfortable. And at the same time, I was totally at peace in that tsunami. And I'm grateful for having the chance of experience it in a so intense way that now there is no doubt. There is no place for doubt. And I know that the tsunami, wherever the little tsunami we are encountering, which we can call our life, it's not about preventing that, but it's about really seeing that, taking the right position inside from where we are experiencing that so-called life.
You know, I'll just come in on this because really the idea of this series of conversations was for teachers to share the challenges that they've encountered that can be quite big, you know, life-threatening illness, loss of a loved one, a partner, whatever it is. The idea was really that in sharing that, what's also shared is that, you know, that openness for life to be as it is and to unfold as it will. And you know, if people are awake, then it's a way of, you know, just keeping on letting go of remnants of the personality that are still lurking about somewhere, you know. And if people are not quite awake, or somehow, you know, there have been glimpses, but there hasn't been like a kind of full embrace of that awakeness, you know, it still serves the same purpose of inviting people to just, like you say, to just allow or open or say yes or surrender or whatever the word is that we choose. At some point in my life, it was bowing, you know, I just learned to bow to everything. Yes, thank you. And, you know, whatever it was, however difficult it was. And in my own life, what really, in a way, served the same function as prison for you, Aashti, was having cancer for the second time and really facing this terror of dying, you know, this total existential fear of this possibly being the end of my life. And it was the same kind of tsunami, you know, in a way, because I was lying awake with it at night, and it something was just done away with through that. And you know, whatever it is, it can be smaller challenges. It doesn't matter. The moment we really let them have us, you know, then they've served their purpose. Whether it's an emotion, whether it's, you know, whether it's something that's uncomfortable, whether it's, you know, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, the challenges are big or small, but you know, when they can...
I call it right now like invitation. You know,
Yeah.
everything for me is an invitation to come back home. Everything. So jump on everything. Jump, you know, use everything.
Yeah.
We still wait for kind of something to happen to us, you know, or through somebody, through the grace or that will happen. But everything is the door. Everything can be the doorway in to realize. You know, when I say that, this is a little bit... I mean, now I'm putting words, and I realize even words are difficult to really express deeply what's happening. Now, you know, it's like, but in my bed, in the bed, you know, in the cell, it's like you are sitting there, and it's like, just be again and again this doorway to what is there, the doorway to come in, and I don't know, you know, not waiting for anything to come out to be able to be free, not waiting anymore for anything. Children growing up, me being older, me having money, me doesn't have this, me being more healthy, be anything, you know, just to, with who you are right now, that's it. That's what you get, you know. And this, and you know, it's so simple, you know, but at the same time there is somebody here who is thinking, but it can be more, no? It can be a little bit different. It's so cute to see that afterwards. You say, oh my God, so sweet, she wants a little bit more chocolate, you know. And then you say, okay, and she thinks that with more chocolate she will be more happy, but it's just you know, so just, it's so beautiful, just now, even if it's not comfortable, you know. This is where I want to be understood, because when we say it's nice, we have idea about nice means I'm not sick, everything goes well, I mean, I don't have any problem, my husband, my wife, everything, my work, anything. It's not what I'm talking about, you know. With all this, it's fine. We are already home. We are already what we are looking for, you know. And this is just like, like, you know, what came to me also today when I was, you know, before, I said, it's maybe the first time actually I understand the meaning of this, you know, this koan of before chopping wood, carrying water, after chopping wood, carrying water. And I used to say it, but it's like I realized that now I really understand it, really, I would say, you know, like, because it's the same. You know, I'm the same. Nothing changed. It's the same, but it's not the same. You know? But on the outside, it's the same. I'm Aashti, you know, like this. You know, the personality is probably still the same or whatever. Anyway, I'm not concerned. But it's still, yeah, it's just carrying water, do our life, enjoy, eating, meeting friends, sharing our talents, expressing our medicine, our love, whatever way it comes. Just go for it, you know? Just go for it. Whatever is calling you, just go for it, because there is nobody who is, except here, judging, you know, or waiting for you to be in a certain way. This we can call freedom, no? This,
yes.
This we are. This we are. This we are.
Beautiful. Thank you, Aashti. I'm wondering whether there's anybody else wants to either share something or ask a question. My sense is we're kind of coming to a close. So I don't know whether you want to, whether there's something that you feel you'd like to just share that you haven't said yet that needs to be said, Aashti.
No, I think this carrying woods and dance dance your dance, you know. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, so many things. Of course, I can go forever, but I just thank you. Thank you for me. It's also was a step in a way to put this out. It's interesting that I put it out in English, you know, as a more working in French, and but it's it was part of something that was calling to just open this in the world and offer, and even if it's just maybe one person that will help, it's okay. It's okay.
Mm.
And
You know, Aashti, the video will be up on YouTube, and you don't know who's going to watch it,
yeah,
who it
yeah,
will speak to, and who it will help.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
beauty of doing things on the internet, is that
yeah,
people find what they need,
yeah,
that's how grace happens on the internet,
yeah,
They
yeah,
just somehow, they find that on the YouTube suggestions or something, and they watch and they say, wow, that's exactly what I needed to hear. Or it's said in exactly the way that that resonated with me.
yeah, yeah,
Or it
yeah,
can be something very personal, that somehow your story, your words, your emanation, just somehow touches where others haven't, where other worlds haven't, where you
yeah, yeah,
and so I just find it so I'm just always so touched by what comes out of those conversations, because what I always hear is this beautiful invitation to be so totally open to what happens,
yeah,
and and to, for me, the wording would be to let life have you.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, and then the little me disappears, it
yeah.
cannot, it's like, it's either me trying to control life, or it's me giving up in life, just being what it is and discovering
Exactly,
that we are life.
exactly. I mean, what come if I can say something? You know, in my personality, I would say this is a sweetness here on this one. She's a kind of little uh, blue flower. She likes people happy, and so in my work, in my life, I've been supporting that or creating, but there was still an idea that I would like all the world being like this. I mean, maybe I'm not the only one, and but this jail and justice and the arrogance and the violence just show me, like we were saying, a part of this world here, the enfer,
The hell.
the hell that is here on earth and is here in the mind, here inside also. And it's like that this it can be also there, because me, I was still thinking that I can change the world to make it peaceful, and now this has dropped, in the sense that this personality will also continue to like flowers and like beauty and like creating that around me. This I still like, but not by thinking anymore that to prevent or to remove. It's like it's there. So what? I mean, so what? Now, so much things that I can understand. When I heard somebody, I forgot who it was, who told me, yeah, there was a war And the question was coming to this teacher saying, what do you think about this big war? She said, yeah, it's a war. So what is the next question? You know? And everybody's so concerned about what is your vision of, yeah, but yeah, that's another experience that is happening here. And now, you know, it's a little bit like this. So it doesn't prevent this expression, this unique expression that we are, just to continue to be the way she is.
Yeah.
But not thinking that wanting something that it has to be like, you know, and when it will be like this, then peace will be there. No, peace is already there. Peace is there before, you know. And so thank you to allow also this meeting so that this can be said from different version, different voice, and to realize that we have all our unique experience in that also. And we are not looking for copying or saying, it needs to be like this, so as a reference, but to trust our own path, our life is taking us home. Trust that.
Yeah, absolutely. And trust what shows up, you know, even if it feels unbearable, even if it feels impossible.
Yeah. Who am I? Who am I to judge? Who am I to be able to understand what is this mystery? Just let it pass through. That's what I will say. I wish for. Let it just pass through. Enjoy it fully.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's a message from Uli who says, "Thank you, Aashti. So beautiful to see how life is permeating joy and happiness through you. This is so trustworthy." Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, it's true too, because, you know, and that's another reason why I'm doing this, to see people speak about their very challenging experience and to receive the joy, the peace that's in all of that, you know, that's the real teaching, isn't it?
Yeah. It's life is very mischievous, you know, to do this thing, it's sometimes it's it's sweet.
So thank you again, Aashti. Thank you to everybody for your questions and
for being there.
For sharing what you shared. And just to say that there will be another live online meeting in 2 weeks' time with Glorigi, who is a shamanic practitioner and non-dual teacher. And we'll be talking about how, you know, there's often a distinction between, you know, the non-dual pure teachings and anything that's more immersed in life, like shamanic journeying and healing, and so we'll be looking at that. So thank you again, and
everybody is welcome to write. Also, it's nice. Sometime afterwards, people who are listening afterwards can. It's invitation to write whatever wants to be shared. I'm open to receive it.
Yes, you have Aashti's website address and contact details on the bio on the event page, so you can contact her that way. So we'll see you again soon.
Yeah. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.